I like to say that just as Lent is a season of preparation for Easter, so Easter is a season of preparation for Pentecost. In particular, the final 9 days of the season, after we have marked the Ascension. And we heard in the last line of that first reading that those first disciples, they had sequestered themselves, if you will, with Mary, with Jesus' extended family, and they prayed. They came together as a community and they prayed to receive that promised gift, the Paraclete, the Advocate, the one who was to remind them of everything that Jesus taught them and was then also to lead them into all truth. That life and that power by which Jesus had exercised his own ministry, healing the sick, preaching to the rejected, the broken, the downtrodden, liberating people from the powers of evil. That same Spirit by which they had watched Jesus perform signs and wonders was to be given to them so that they could go forward, do likewise, and as Jesus said, and even greater things than he had done. They waited, they prayed, and in that prayerful anticipation, the Spirit came. And this, as we mark this season, it's an opportunity for us to remember that this is what we are truly made for. A human being is made to receive a share in the very life of God, this life of the Spirit. And when we recall what we're really made for, what our true purpose is, that directs our choices and the course of our lives. When we don't think we're worth very much, it shows by the choices we make. But when we know what our true dignity and purpose is, that also shows. I have to think that those first disciples often found themselves conflicted in that time after they watched Jesus ascend to heaven. I think they must have felt at times a little bit lost, a little bit confused. Perhaps they worried about what was going to be next. Who was going to be in charge? How are things going to work? And I don't want to project my own relationship with my mother onto the relationship of Jesus and Mary, but I also cannot help but think that Mary must have said something along the lines of, "I just got him back and he's leaving again." But the disciples and she gathered together, and they prayed, and they waited, and every good thing that was promised to them came. And from that day on Pentecost, they would go forth with everything that they needed to be the church, to do what they had to do. As I am now in my final days as your pastor, I think very much I can say a little bit what Jesus said. It is better for you that I go, because if I do not go, 3 other priests won't come. I wish I didn't have to go, but it's what's right. And if I could leave you with something, a little bit of perspective I have gained as your pastor over the last few years, both for those of you here in Ravenna and those of you from Cooksaki, it would be this. Ravenna, you sometimes can get a bit down on yourselves. Sometimes you can give in to some feelings of vulnerability and insecurity. I wish you could see in yourselves what I see in you, though. You are so resilient, so strong as a community, and so resourceful. Kuksaki, I know there are times you can feel a little bit lost, a little bit directionless. I wish you could see the creativity that I recognize in you. Both of you communities together, long before I was your pastor, when I was only just your neighbor, you impressed me so much with how you responded to the crisis of the pandemic and lockdown. Now, yes, Father Scott deserves a great deal of credit for that time. He is inspired and he's a great leader. But no priest, no matter how gifted, inspired, or talented, can bring out of a community something that just isn't there. The resilience, the creativity, the strength, the ability to respond to a crisis, not just react, to reach out, to help and truly make an evangelical act of goodness. That is in you. That is a part of who and what you are. And you are made to receive the life of God. Each of you, individually, personally, and all of you together as a community, in the life of the Spirit, in the life of the church, the greatest things that you will know, they are ahead of you, not behind you. Open yourselves to receive every good gift. There is so much that is yet promised to you. It will come. If you come together as a community, pray, and wait in that prayerful anticipation, it will come. By the grace of this Mass, may we all reopen our minds and hearts, deepen our openness to receive that gift that each and every one of us was truly meant to receive, and embrace our true purpose, receiving that share in the very life of God. Peace be with all of you this morning, and with all who love the Lord in simplicity of heart.